and welcome to this session. My name is Lori DeFurio, and I've had the pleasure of working at Adobe for many years, and I'm super excited to talk about where we're going with generative AI in our technology. So let's jump right in. The table here shows how many months it took for these different products to get to 100 million users. If you look at Uber, which is one of the premier startups, it took 70 months or almost 6 years to get to 100 million users. Now for ChatGPT, it only took 2 months. That's how fast this is happening. And we're experiencing this at Adobe too. After launching Generative Fill in Adobe Photoshop, it has become the fastest and most adopted beta feature in Adobe Photoshop history. And as of today, over 9 billion images, yep, that's a B, have been generated with Adobe Firefly, our generative AI technology in Creative Cloud apps and services. And the introduction of Acrobat AI Assistant earlier this year enables anyone to have a conversation with documents across all surfaces, desktop, web, mobile, or even in your favorite browser. And as the data points show across all roles, organizations and people are adopting AI-based solutions. 64% of business owners say AI will increase productivity, demonstrating the growing confidence in AI's potential to transform business operations. And we see that 79% of leaders report cost decrease via AI adoption. Now, we at Adobe recently asked over 2,500 creative professionals across the globe how they're using generative AI. And a major insight is that they're not just improving content velocity and quality, they're also focusing their creative energy on the work they enjoy and the work that really matters. 83% of creative professionals said they're using generative AI tools in their work, and 74% said they're using them in their personal lives as well. 62% are realizing a 20% and reduction of their tedious and repetitive processes that take up a lot of time, leaving more time for ideation. However, as I work with many of Adobe's largest customers, and this has been uncharted territory, each team has questions or concerns. When using Gen AI, will your business be protected from issues around copyright, ethics, commercial use, and brand consistency? How will you use Gen AI in a way that remains safe? Well, how does your organization embrace AI as an opportunity, not as a threat? Another recent industry survey shows 82% of security professionals are seeing data leakage as a top concern for Gen AI, and 71% of business leaders see an ingress of data hallucinations as a top concern for Gen AI. Also, how much time will it take to implement AI data governance? And who has access? And what are your guidelines? And what's the overall cost and return on investment? Is it really worth it for my organization? Oh, and let's not forget information quality and accuracy and accountability for accidentally creating misinformation is a big concern as well. Now, my recommendation is to create a business strategy for your organization's use of generative AI and an internal ethics committee if you don't already have one. When researching apps and services, check to see if that organization has its own strategy. Do they have an ethics committee? Do they publish how they train their models and what their policy is around accountability, responsibility, and transparency? And do they provide security and privacy? Here at Adobe, we're already seeing the promise of generative AI across industries and the impact. IBM has been an early adopter of Firefly and is already seeing the benefits. Teams leveraged Firefly text-to-image functionality to generate 200 initial assets and over 1,000 derivative assets for a paid social campaign. The outputs generated 26x engagement versus non-Firefly generated assets, resulting in the best performing asset of the year. Billy Seabrook, Global Chief Design Officer at IBM, told Reuters in February, what typically would take us 2 weeks for an end-to-end cycle, we've gotten it down to 2 days. And overall, IBM said it expects a tenfold increase in the productivity of their designers. Second example, Pepsi. They were creating a new campaign entirely on mobile and needed to create personalized images, localized, regionalized, etc. And they generated over 500,000 custom on-brand assets in 5 days using Firefly's automation services. And Adobe commissioned a report from Pfeiffer benchmarking core tasks with and without Acrobat AI Assistant in this example, creating bullet points for a presentation and crafting an email, which then was edited and finalized manually. And users were able to do this typical activity 4 times faster with AI Assistant. Across all our AI apps and service, business at Adobe, we are anchored on a few key principles. Security. I'll touch on this a bit more when discussing the technology, but we have put in place guardrails to ensure your data is safe. Your content is your content, and we offer contractual IP indemnification in the unlikely event of a claim. Transparency. Adobe Firefly generative AI models were trained on licensed content, Adobe stock, and public domain content where the copyright expired, leveraging 300 million licensed images from Adobe stock. We didn't train on content on the web like other tools. And we publish our AI ethics guidelines, training, testing, feedback, and have dedicated resources throughout the organization to meet our AI ethics commitments and AI ethics committee and a cross-functional AI ethics review. Now, critical with the rise of AI generated content and viral deepfakes, it becomes easier to spread information and more difficult to decipher between trustworthy and untrustworthy content. And it's impossible to catch or detect everything that's nefarious. In 2019, Adobe, in partnership with the New York Times, started the Content Authenticity Initiative to help users create a digital chain of custody for their photography, video, and other file types from creation to publication, and to help consumers trust in the content they're consuming. Now, today, there's over 2,500 member organizations from news outlets to creative agencies and technology providers spearheading content credentials. Think of content credentials as digital nutrition labels for your images and videos, where it was created, how it was created, and even what camera took the photo. Content credentials help creators get secure attribution and provide transparency. A good strategy for our listeners is to work with technology providers in the Content Authenticity Initiative so you know that they're working towards providing ways to tag and reveal the sources. Now, finally, integration with your current workflows. Whether your workflows include creative apps and services or digital document processes, our AI technologies will integrate as they're based on industry standards. Adobe Firefly is a technology. It's not a product for working with images, videos, and 3D. You'll find it sprinkled across our apps and services. Now, if you visit firefly.adobe.com, you'll see a collection of tools: text to image, generative fill, generate templates, generate a vector, recolor, and more. And all of these are integrated into the creative apps and services. And our enterprise customers want to deliver assets at scale while using their own brand content, leveraging custom models, the ability to train Firefly models with your styles, objects, and imagery, plus the Firefly services, which is a set of APIs to automate the steps we saw in the IBM and Pepsi examples, which accelerated their content production. Now, with that said, rest assured that imagery used to train your Firefly models will not be used in our general foundational generative models. Some of this has been covered already, but I want to make it very clear our approach. Your content is your content, and we never train on your content. We don't look at content that's stored with us, and we don't monitor or report on your teams or using the technology. And back to transparency, we outline each customer agreement that Firefly inputs and outputs are customer content. And if an organization chooses to use custom models, that was the example I gave earlier about training Firefly on your own brand, that content is not shared with any other organization. Now, recently we published our 9 principles of ethical AI for Adobe Firefly, and you'll find the hyperlink in the resources as well as here on the slides. The generative AI tool for Acrobat is AI Assistant. AI isn't new to Acrobat. We created Liquid Mode for Acrobat Mobile, which is designed to help you consume PDFs on your mobile device more easily. And we won a Time Magazine award as one of the best inventions of 2023. And now we've introduced AI Assistant, which recently also was selected as Time's Best Innovation of 2024. So where can AI Assistant help with digital documents? Well, for helping accelerate time to knowledge. So it's great having all this content, but understanding the impactful components within your documents is key. The ability to more quickly synthesize a report or gather insights about a new industry trend. This is a game changer for anyone that reads digital documents. If you're looking for an answer, what's the first thing you do? Search. Right? Control F or Command F. Well, now just ask your question. And I'm sure most of our listeners have a folder of information they'd love to read, but just never get the time. AI Assistant can summarize the document for you, providing insights. And if you want to learn more, just start chatting with the document. And when I think about the use cases, they're in every department across an organization: contracts and legal, policies or resumes in HR, and white papers and marketing plans, or financial reporting. I also like to think about AI Assistant for repurposing or reusing content, that is, generating derivatives. Help craft a blog post, or summarize a report into an email to share, or summarize a meeting. The power here is just not to garner insights from a PDF, but the power to generate output. And for both of these aspects, accelerating time to knowledge and repurposing, reusing content, AI Assistant speeds up these tasks, helping you get the work done faster, more accurately, and then you can stand behind and trust the results because Acrobat points you back to the source. Now, AI Assistant follows the same AI ethics I outlined earlier. Adobe enhances Microsoft's Azure OpenAI service with our proprietary AI and a custom-built attribution engine and 30 years of PDF expertise. So specifically, we do not use your data to train our LLMs. AI Assistant does not crawl your files. It only looks at the files you tell it to look at. Your people can only use AI Assistant on the documents they already have access to. And the responsive of AI Assistant are audit friendly. We attribute these right back to the source document. Now, we provide you with enterprise control so that you have the full discretion who in your organization has access to AI Assistant. And again, we built it on the ethical AI that I talked about earlier: transparency, testing, and impact assessment. So let's get to some real world examples of Acrobat AI Assistant in action. It can be leveraged anywhere in an organization, as I mentioned, for sales working on RFPs or doing customer research, or in HR updating policy documents by comparing versions or incorporating updated local laws, and in any department, summarizing meeting transcripts. I know that I've missed a few meetings and would like a summary of the session and, if needed, to query the outcome to learn more. So let's take a look at AI Assistant in action.
AI Assistant supports multiple documents and multiple formats. So I'll add these 3 files about our product, Word, and PowerPoint documents, in addition to a PDF I created from a web page. Once the files are processed, AI Assistant offers suggested questions. And here I can see all the files in the collection and add more if needed. I'll ask AI Assistant to create a slide about the product and another slide on how to sell it. AI Assistant analyzes all the documents and extracts the key information needed. Well, this looks pretty good. There's slide headlines and key bullet points, and product differentiators, user personas, and key selling points. I can click on the attributions to verify the responses are reliable and sourced from my documents. An AI assistant easily jumps to the specific point across the different documents. All right, let's try another prompt. Create a slide about general pricing and availability. Format it as themes with supporting points. AI Assistant understands the context of what I'm trying to do. So when I ask for pricing and availability, it understands that I'm talking about Altura stock here. And I've crafted the prompt with a task, create a slide, and the context about general pricing and availability, and instructions on how to format the response. I can also prepare our sales team to understand all the different content types Altura stock offers in an easy to read table. Create a table for different asset types of Altura stock offers and add a column with description. And it's easy to copy all of this succinct and well organized product information into my enablement deck. The table, the pricing information, and so on. Now, and finally, I need a quiz to accompany this training. I want to make sure my sales team can answer top questions customers have. Create a multiple choice quiz about 10 things a salesperson should know and provide a list of answers at the end. It generates 10 questions with multiple choice answers and provides a list of the correct answers with attributions I can use to double check the answers. And if you've ever had to create a quiz, the hardest part is writing the wrong answers. AI Assistant just saved me a ton of time.
Pretty cool, right? Well, there's more. Brand new is Adobe Express integrated in Acrobat. Now I can use Adobe Firefly capabilities to work with images directly within Acrobat. Let's take a look. Here's a PDF of a presentation in process which was shared with the team. Looks like there's 2 notes on the file. Remove the coffee cup and update this photo. The image doesn't match the topic. Well, that's true. This looks like some type of volunteer activity and not relevant to this presentation. So let's hide those comments and get started. First, I'll select Edit to open the Edit panel, and I'll select the image. Now, we've had the ability to edit images in Photoshop directly from Acrobat for many versions, but brand new is the ability to use Adobe Express as well. I'll select Edit Image, and Express opens right within Acrobat. We have multiple tools and options at our disposal here, but per the comment, we'll use the tools to remove the coffee cup. So first, I'm going to select Generative Fill, color over that area, adjusting the brush if needed, and select Generate. New images are generated by Adobe Firefly in Adobe Express. I'm presented with 3 options. I'll select this one, select Done, and Apply. And the image is updated, and I didn't have to leave Acrobat. Well, let's look at this second example. Based on what is needed here, I can't just edit the image. Instead, I'll need a whole new one. I'll select the image I want to change. Now, I could select Replace Image if I had one, but I don't. So, I'll click Generate Image to create one using Adobe Firefly. And again, Adobe Express opens directly within Acrobat. I'll add a prompt to generate an image to match the others and the topic. A team of 3 people working together in an office setting. Themes should include a hybrid workspace and a digital-first approach. To match the current design, I'll choose Landscaped for the image size, and I'll select the content type to Photo, and again select Generate. Again, we have some options to choose from. I'll select this one and then Apply. And now it's right back in the PDF, replacing the original image. I can resize it or move it around to match the other images, and I'm done. 2 tasks complete, 2 images changed, and we stayed in Acrobat the whole time, without any back and forth copy and paste between tools. A great time saver. So, what'd you think? There's some really cool stuff in Acrobat AI Assistant. So, if you'd like to learn more and you'd like a demo, here's some information how to contact the team. You can scan the QR code. We've added the email alias there as well. I'd like to thank you all for your time today. Take care and be safe.